Hello, good evening. Welcome to North West Tonight with Roger Johnson. Our top story. The winter flu virus surges. With record numbers in hospital, the NHS urges people to get vaccinated. We will talk to the NHS Medical Director for Primary Care about this year's flu vaccination programme. Also tonight, families demanding answers as a coroner opens 6 inquests into deaths at a Cheshire care home. Questions over why restoring Manchester's Victorian Town Hall is now costing more than £500 million. Our latest Christmas star goes to Mal, who has spent 40 years keeping village life alive.
And in the wake of Storm Bram, it's still pretty breezy out there. I'll have the latest on the winds and a look ahead to the rest of the week.
The North West has been hit hard by the latest winter flu outbreak. More than 250 are in hospital this evening with the virus. That's more than double the number at this time last year. And the NHS is warning tonight that the outbreak shows no signs of peaking. One of the town's worst hit is Blackpool. Around 60 people there are in hospital. And today a mobile vaccination clinic opened in the town to encourage more people to get this year's flu jab. Here's our health correspondent, Jill Dummigan.
Today, the mobile vaccine van's doing a brisk business.
Well, I was just walking past and I thought, oh, I've not had it done yet because I've got asthma myself, so I'm slightly worried about getting the flu. Don't really want to be ill over Christmas.
This van tours Lancashire, trying to reach people who otherwise might struggle to get the jab.
At the moment, a lot of pharmacies have run out of the vaccination already. Lots of people have been ill, so they've missed their sessions with their GPs and their pharmacies. So lots of people will just get it because they've walked past and it's quick and there's no queue. They can hop on and have it.
The flu vaccination's free to anyone who's over 65, in a vulnerable group, or who cares for someone vulnerable.
So you've just had your jab?
Yes.
And what made you decide to get it done today?
Well, both the in-laws are vulnerable and we go around to them several times a week, so it's important that we don't give them anything we shouldn't do.
Last December, this region was struggling with the so-called quaddemic of flu, COVID, norovirus and RSV. This year it's flu which is the worry. It's arrived early and it's a particularly unpleasant version known as H3N2.
It is causing an unpleasant illness, particularly in the elderly. It puts a huge pressure on our hospital system. We end up having lots of people in hospital that are unwell, and pressures on the wider health system as well, primary care, ambulances, and this just has an impact on the whole healthcare system.
The most recent figures for the North West, which run until the 30th of November, show 352 people in hospital because of flu. Now that's not only more than twice as high as the same time last year, it's nearly twice as high as a week earlier, and we're being told that the big worry is that those figures are still going up. The new data is published tomorrow, when it's expected to show around 300 hospital cases.
My child's first birthday, I was really bad with flu and I've just had the flu jab ever since. So
you get it every year?
Yeah.
How did that go?
Good, yeah, really well. I didn't feel a thing, actually.
Last winter, 8,000 people died from flu in this country. The people here are doing everything to try to protect others this winter.
You need to get vaccinated, so please, anyone that's in an at-risk group, whether if you're over 65 or you're under 65 with a long-term condition, the really important thing to protect yourself and other people is to get vaccinated.
Jill Dummigan, BBC North West Tonight, Blackpool.
So that's the situation in Blackpool. Let's talk a little bit more about this. I've been speaking to Dr Paula Cowan about this year's surge in flu cases. She's a GP in Wirral. She is also the Regional Medical Director for Primary Care at NHS England.
Flu puts an awful lot of strain on our services, but also on patients, on individuals and on their families. And so our key message to get across and to aim to help to reduce the flu burden is to encourage people who are ineligible cohorts to come forward and have their flu vaccination.
Just remind people what those eligible cohorts are.
So for patients who are over 65, for children, so age 2 and 3, and then children from reception to year 6 in primary school and in secondary school, year 7 to 11. So we've got children in that cohort. We've got any children who have long-term conditions or are immunosuppressed from the age of 6 months to 18 years. And then in adults, we have patients who are over 65, those with long-term conditions, and pregnant people.
If you're fortunate enough to be able to afford it and you don't fall in those categories, you can get one at a pharmacy, many pharmacies, can't you?
It can be purchased, and for patients who don't fall into those eligible categories or may have had flu in the past or may have be very concerned about it, yes, they can pay for it. But what I would suggest is for patients who are healthy, patients who have, don't have any long-term conditions, they don't necessarily need to get it. What we need to get away from, Roger, is people think that flu is a common cold. It absolutely isn't.
Anyone who's had it knows it's completely debilitating. I've had it once in my life and it knocked me for 6, I have to say.
I think what we need to realise is that flu can have significant impacts on a patient. And as I said at the start of our conversation, we have significant numbers of patients who are actually in hospital beds, and some of those patients are in intensive care. So flu can have such damaging effects on a patient, and some can be fatal.
And just a final thought. Hospitals always are under pressure in winter, as we know. Flu adds to that. How concerned are you by the latest resident doctors' action that could make things even more difficult?
I think what we're seeing this year is we are seeing our hospitals, our community, our general practice are busier than they've ever been. And the industrial action that has been planned, there's no getting away from the fact that it will have an impact on how busy the services are. And so it's really important, again, to get across messages to patients about using other services that are available, using our pharmacy services and self-managing and self-care, because that's really, really critical at any time of the year, but in particular at this time of year.
Dr. Paula Cowan, thanks for talking to us.
Not at all.
And interesting, that developing line that we heard about earlier, that doctors are going to ballot over the weekend, that those strikes may not go ahead. We'll wait and see. Now, inquests into the deaths of 6 residents at a Cheshire care home opened today. Their families have campaigned for the hearings after concerns over their relatives' care at St Luke's in Runcorn. One of them had more than 30 falls while living at the home. Andy Gill reports from the Coroner's Court in Warrington. I should warn you, you may find some of the pictures here upsetting.
The 6 men and women whose inquests opened today were residents at St Luke's care home in Runcorn at various times between 2021 and 2023. Winifred Tubb suffered 32 falls in 11 months at St Luke's. She died in hospital in 2022 after getting COVID-19. Winifred's daughter was among the families at Cheshire Coroner's Court today for the opening of the 6 inquests, which come after a long campaign.
It's been a real emotional roller coaster, and I don't think as families we've actually grieved our loved ones, because we've been trying to get the answers to what we want. So I don't think we've actually had time to grieve. So the inquests, obviously we welcome them to find out the answers that we need.
Raymond Thomas also had several falls at St Luke's, which is run by Halton Borough Council. His inquest opened today, along with those for Leonard Allen, Patricia Clee, Victor Collinson and Barbara Jeffers. They all had various causes of death given at the times that they died.
The court heard that the 6 deaths were not initially referred to the coroner, but had been referred recently because of care concerns. Area Coroner Victoria Davis said that meant that there was potential for there to be an unnatural element to the causes of deaths, so inquests were needed.
Some of the families are pursuing civil claims over the care given at St Luke's.
There were a number of issues such as record keeping, falls, food, hydration, a number of issues that were being brought up on multiple occasions. But it seems steps weren't taken to address these issues and people lost their loved ones.
In a statement, Halton Borough Council said it'll cooperate fully and assist the coroner with their inquiries. The council said it remains committed to working with its partners to provide excellent quality of care, ensuring that residents receive safe, high-quality support. The families of the 6 people whose inquests open today must now wait until November next year for them to resume. Andy Gill, BBC North West Tonight, Warrington.
We'll let you know what happens, of course. Now, a former army sergeant who sexually assaulted Jaisley Beck, a teenage soldier from Cumbria who took her own life, won't have his prison sentence increased. Former warrant officer Michael Webber was jailed for 6 months for assaulting Gunner Beck. Her mum wanted the sentence reviewed as unduly lenient, but the Solicitor General has decided not to refer it to the Court of Appeal. Jaisley's mum says it sends a devastating message. Reform UK councillor Amanda Clare has had assault and criminal damage charges against her dropped. The councillor for Winsford Dean had been charged with assaulting a security guard at the Winsford Pride event earlier this year, but the Crown Prosecution Service says there's no longer sufficient evidence to provide a realistic prospect of conviction. Cheshire East Council has unanimously voted to oppose plans for a new town near Macclesfield. Opponents of the proposal for around 20,000 new homes at Adlington staged a protest at the council meeting today. Adlington is one of 12 areas suggested for new towns by a government task force. And Donald Campbell's legendary hydroplane Bluebird K7 has been granted permission to run on Coniston Water in May next year. It'll take to the water for the Bluebird K7 The Festival. It'll be the first time she's run on Coniston since she crashed in 1967. She was salvaged, of course, from the lake bed in 2001. A lot of people will be in Coniston for that, I suspect. Now, the cost of restoring Manchester's spectacular Victorian Gothic town hall has gone up again. It was supposed to cost around £330 million. It's now gone up to £525 million, or to put it another way, more than £500 million. The City Council today approved an extra £95 million to allow the project to be completed, hopefully. So what's going on? Here's Lindsay Prosser.
A symbol of power and wealth, Manchester Town Hall remains under wraps as building work continues.
This building's special because it is probably, to my mind, the most important Victorian building in Great Britain. What you need is something that sums up your ambition in one building.
The ambition for the present council has been to deliver the UK's largest restoration project. The original estimate for the work was £300 million. As of this afternoon, that now stands at over £500 million. The council has stated that COVID and the war in Ukraine have led to increased costs, but discoveries as work has progressed have also caused problems.
One of the things about a project of this size is you never know at the outset exactly how it's going to unfold. You know, you open up a floor or you go into a new workspace for the first time and things will look very different. You discover things as you go through the project every day, and that does add complexity because all of those discoveries then have a knock-on.
When the building was built, it went significantly over budget, and that overspend was vigorously defended, as it was believed that Manchester needed a building which reflected its industry, ambition and pride. History is mirrored today, with building work costing much more than expected and drawing criticism. Whatever the reasons for today's overspend, opposition councillors believe the project could have been managed better.
There are always going to be things that they found when they started the work, but that's why you have a contingency. But the contingency has never been anywhere near enough, and they just keep coming back for more and more.
The team involved in this complex restoration say one of the lessons learned is spending more time investigating the possible hidden issues with the building before committing to the work.
You've always got a very fine balance to try and achieve there between spending too long opening the space up, spending a lot of money opening up, and actually getting a proper understanding of the level of risk of discovery. Some of the works you can't open up without this building consent, but we could have opened up more floors, for example.
The building should be back to its former glory by spring 2027. Lindsay Prosser, BBC North West Tonight, Manchester.
Now, this time last year, the Lancashire and Cumbria were still clearing up after the devastation of Storm Desmond. We've been reflecting on the worst storm to hit the region in 600 years over the last few nights, and homes were flooded, bridges destroyed, power lines brought down as well. But for one family at Backbarrow in the south of Cumbria, there was added drama with a dash through the floods to hospital for the birth of baby James. His middle name, appropriately for one born in a flood, is Noah, as Phil Chapman reports.
Baby James Noah was blissfully unaware of the storm raging across the country as he arrived 10 years ago via a completely different route to the one his parents had intended. As a Storm Desmond baby, he's just turned 10 and learning all about how he had to head west instead of south to Lancaster from his village of Backbarrow to find his way into the world.
I mean, yeah, that's just entirely flooded.
Well, 10 years on, and even though the river here is lively at Backbarrow Bridge, it was a lot higher during Storm Desmond. It was impassable, in fact, along with many other routes to the east and to the south.
My wife Catherine was already 2 weeks overdue, and we were supposed to be going to Lancaster. But obviously the storm hit. I went out in the morning to have a look at the floodwaters, and the bridge down the other end of the village was completely washed out. We had a 4x4, so did manage to get out the back end of the village through some of the back roads, and managed to get through to Barrow, and just in time because James was born 15 minutes after we got there. Me and Catherine had this conversation. We just went, yeah, we should really go with Noah actually for a middle name. It hadn't actually been on the table until that point, but yeah, it seemed quite fitting.
I mean, if you think about it, both of them are Christian. So, like, James from The Fisherman, James and John, us two basically, and Noah from Noah's Ark.
And this winter, where else but at home on water close, James Noah and his family are hoping for a quiet, storm-free Christmas 10 years on. Phil Chapman, BBC North West Tonight, in Cumbria.
Yeah, happy Christmas to them all, and happy birthday, of course, to James Noah. Now, here are some of the other stories that people are reading from BBC News. A prolific shoplifter who stole from Boots in Newton-le-Willows 3 times in a day has been jailed for 9 months. Ryan Burgess swiped shampoo each time. It was worth £350. Cheshire East Council set to revert to its previous structure after 4 years being run by committees. A leader in Cabinet will take control from next May. And the new lollipop lady at Longridge in Lancashire says she has big boots to fill. Harriet Sharrock has taken over from Irene Reid, who did it for 56 years and got an MBE. You can find out more bbc.co.uk/local news, or have a look on the BBC News app. Now, Manchester's Pride Festival is the city centre's biggest event, bringing tens of thousands of people every year. But earlier this year, it went bust, with debts of nearly £1.5 million. The organisers blamed rising costs and poor ticket sales. The Charity Commission launched an investigation into what had gone wrong. But the City Council says that Pride will return next year, as Darren Milby has been finding out.
Thousands came in August, but since then, the charity behind Manchester Pride has gone bust, with bills of £1.3 million. Many contributors are out of pocket.
Everyone who makes Manchester Pride happen should get paid. It's not just about the money either. There's a real sense that a lot of trust has been lost in the sort of creative sector and in the LGBTQ sector in Greater Manchester because of what's happened. There was not just the financial impact, there was the emotional impact of it all as well.
Oh, it's a massive economic boost to the city, but it puts Manchester on the global map. I mean, we've been doing this for decades, and it'd be a tragedy if Pride disappears. It'd be a really bad mark on Manchester as a city.
Manchester City Council say there will be a Pride next year, but what will it look like?
I think maybe change the format, because charging for it kind of puts people off, but I know you've got to charge people for it because you probably have an influx of too many people.
The parades are key to it all, and sort of, spread of peace and love throughout the city, I think is the general sentiment.
The council's already had very positive meetings with a number of interested parties. The main job is to get Pride up and running next year. I'm all in favour of a homemade Pride. None of these Hollywood stars at exorbitant salaries and fees. There's plenty of talent in Manchester, plenty of artistic talent in Manchester.
Looking ahead, we want it to still remain to be a positive and a party place, but keep that essence of protest. Manchester's always been at the heart of these movements for equality, and Pride is part of that, so we want that essence kept there.
Pride means so many things to so many different people. It's not just a party. You know, a lot of people see it as just a big hedonistic party, but it really isn't. Manchester Pride was a fantastic event with youth pride, family pride, one of the most diverse lineups of any Pride event across the whole of the UK.
This is one of the leading cities for the LGBT community. We've got to have a Pride, and I'm confident that in 26 we are going to have a great Pride.
So, with a new approach, it's hoped that Manchester Pride can turn things around. Darren Milby, BBC North West Tonight.
Right, let's bring you a bit of football. Liverpool managed to put the ongoing Mo Salah saga to one side last night with a 1-0 Champions League win at Inter Milan.
Tonight it should be all about the players that are here. In the rich history Liverpool has, they've had many of these evenings, but after in the season we are in, I think if you have an away win in this stadium against such a strong team, then it should be about the midfield or about Ibu or about the ones that are here. They deserve all the credits.
Manchester City are playing in the Champions League tonight. Their fixture against Real Madrid. A win for City in Spain would see them move 1 point ahead of their hosts, go up to 6th in the table with 2 games remaining in the league phase.
It's one more game where we're going to try to be the best version of ourselves and to add another 3 points to stay in the top 8. That's our main goal. So we know how tough it is to come here. We know how special it is to play in this stadium.
Radio Manchester across that for you tonight. Away from the Champions League and the Championship last night, playoff hopefuls Preston North End recovered from an own goal and a sending off to draw 1-1 with league leaders Coventry City at Deepdale. Great result for PNE. Blackburn Rovers also drew 1-1 at home to Oxford United. Stockport here got back to winning ways in League One with a 2-0 win at Doncaster Rovers, while fellow playoff contenders Bolton Wanderers also won on the road here with a 1-0 victory over Mansfield Town. Good result for them. In League Two, Tranmere Rovers secured a comprehensive 3-0 win over struggling Barrow. Barrow have subsequently sacked their manager Andy Wing today after less than 12 months in charge. And Accrington here beat Harrogate 2-0, while Fleetwood and Salford drew 1-1. Right, we've got the weather with Keeley on the way, but it is time now for another Christmas star. Thank you for all the incredible nominations that you've sent again this year about people who make a real difference to their communities. As I said the other night, we read them all and they are all fantastic. Tonight, the accolade goes to a man who has been at the heart of his community for almost half a century. Mal Sutton is a prolific fundraiser who has been pivotal to good causes at Hale Village near Widnes. And Judy Hobson went to oversee tonight's big surprise.
It's the annual community Christmas lunch in Hale Village, a chance for the older villagers, especially those who live alone, to get together. It's just one of many events which enhance the lives of those that live here. And this is the man who makes it all possible.
Mal is such an important part of the village. He is the catalyst of getting all of these functions done. He offers his services to so many people, and he does it so relentlessly.
What Mal doesn't know is he's been nominated for a BBC North West Tonight Christmas star.
Mal has got an energy you wouldn't believe for his age. Whenever anything needs doing in the village, he's there straight away.
Mal is central to everything here. He arranged for the local lighthouse to be painted, restored the war memorial, maintains the village flower beds, and hosts bonfire night for the local children. His friends say this is just the tip of the iceberg.
We have a carnival every year, which is attended by 1,500 people. He will set up all of the tents. He will make models for the children. He will then take his horse and his carriage to take the village carnival queen to the actual event. We've just had a Christmas tree we've just put up today. Mal has actually put that Christmas tree in today. In the front of the village here, there will be a crib, and he has actually made the actual crib itself.
It's unbelievable, and he's getting older now, but he doesn't stop, he just keeps going. There's a lot of people do a lot of hard work.
The time has come to thank Mal for all his hard work, and he still doesn't know why we're really here.
This is for you, the North West Tonight Christmas star, and well, you're very welcome.
I'm really be surprised. I'm watching on the television and think that's a fiddle. They must have known. They must have known that it was that it was coming, but there was absolutely no sign at all. It is very nice to be honoured with an award, which, as I say, it's not just me; it's a lot of other people as well.
Mal does everything in this village. He is marvellous. I mean, you don't get many villages like this, do you?
Judy Hobson, BBC North West Tonight in Hale Village.
It's never a fiddle, Mal, honest, never. Congratulations and Merry Christmas to everybody in Hale Village. Right, there's another Christmas star for you tomorrow. More immediately, let's catch up with the weather. Keely is with us. Hi, Keely, a lovely rainbow. Where's that?
Yes, let's have a little look. I think this one's Cheadle. This
Very
is a
nice.
test for me. Do I remember? Yes, Cheadle, there you go. There was quite a few around, actually, because it's been more showery today. So we have had quite a few rainbows, and you'll like this one, Roger. A double rainbow, if you look carefully. This one taken in Macclesfield. You can just about make out that second rainbow. It's paler than the first. If you look really carefully, and if I don't trip over, you look really carefully, the colours are in reverse. You can keep your pictures coming in to the Weather Watchers page, or I'm on social media as well. So tomorrow, there won't be as many showers around, 1 or 2 spots of dampness perhaps across Cumbria, but generally it's dry and bright. Still breezy, but not as windy as it has been, and those winds have already eased down a little. They'll ease down further into Friday after this cold front moves through Thursday night. Behind it, Friday brightens up for a nice day, but yes, the winds will fall lighter on Friday as well. So let's get back to this evening's forecast. It's windy out there, a fresh to strong southwesterly breeze, particularly strong, I think, still for the Isle of Man, perhaps the coast of Cumbria, right along our coastline, actually, and some of the hills. Not a lot happening overnight, generally dry, but you'll have noticed a little bit of drizzle coming through for generally the western upslopes of Cumbria, perhaps the Pennine Chain as well, but generally a lot of dry weather to come, with temperatures back at around 6 or 7 degrees. So tomorrow, generally a brighter day. We might start off with the odd spot of drizzle from this cloud across Cumbria, but generally we've got a lot of dry, bright weather to come. Still breezy, but not as windy as it has been. And then later in the day, thickening cloud into the Isle of Man, introducing this cold front, which will move through Thursday night. Temperatures tomorrow still above average for the time of year. As I mentioned yesterday, we should be at around 7 degrees in December, so 11 or 12 degrees certainly is mild, and really we keep those relatively mild temperatures as we head through the next few days. So overnight rain into Friday. Friday it will move away. It'll brighten up with some sunshine, gradually, very slowly going downhill for the weekend. But just look at those temperatures, still well above average, Roger.
We'll settle for that. Keely, thank you very much indeed. Thank you. Have a nice evening. Jeff's emailed. He wants to know where the Christmas decorations are in the studio. It's a fair point. Mal had them up in Hale Village, didn't he? We're putting them up. I've got to get the tree out, put it up. It'll be here on Monday night, apparently. That'll be my weekend job. Have a great evening. Thanks for watching. Good night.